Now, Rosie, I've spent some time in Central America and in Mexico, and empanadas are one of the most popular things. And even in South America, they're very popular as well. Now, my Uncle Bob, who was in the Merchant Navy, he spent a lot of time in South America, and he showed me his recipe for duck empanadas, and that's what I'm going to do for you. Now, what I've got is my fry pan already on. We're going to make the duck filling to start with, and then we're going to make a really cool yogurt pastry that we're going to wrap it in. Now, to get things started, I've got some coriander or cilantro if you're from South America, and some thyme. I want you to chop it nice and fine.
You got it.
And then once you've done that, I want you to chop up that egg there, all nice and fine, like we're making an egg sandwich, you know, so it's nice and beautiful.
So a duck empanada, that does not surprise me. I thought you might do a bacon empanada.
A bacon would be good, but my Uncle Bob would only use duck. So apparently duck is very, very popular in South America, and they've got lots of different types of it. But what I've got here is some beautiful duck breast, and you can see it's got great colour to it, and a little bit of the fat from the breast there. I'm going to keep it on because that fat is what makes it nice and moist. As you can see from the duck meat, it's actually quite lean. So the fat from the skin and the meat together make it balanced, and that's what makes it nice. And that's one of my favourite things about duck is, of course, the duck fat. Now, I've got my pan nice and hot, and I'm going to turn it up to maximum velocity. And what I'll do is, with my duck here, I'm going to pop it straight in. No oil or anything, because I know that fat will render down nicely. Now, I'm going to sneak over here and cut some onion up, Rosie, because we want to layer it up and make it nice and flavoursome. Half an onion all the way through here. I could use some scallions or some spring onions. Yep. Is that what you call them?
Spring onions,
there we go.
that's it.
Now, in go the onions, and I'll let that all sweat off nice and gently. Toss that around. If you're not confident with tossing it around, you can always use one of these things called a wooden spoon, and you just sort of move it around. A lot safer to do, and you will make a lot less mess. Now, what I'm going to do is sneak in here and grab most of that coriander and thyme there, and I'm going to pop it in here. Now, Rosie, that's cooking up beautifully. What I'm going to do is put some zucchini in there. So I'll take the top off this zucchini and then sit it over there like that, and I'm going to cut it into a little dice. And here's a trick on cutting diced zucchini. I cut it down flat like this, and I want you to be careful because I've always got a flat surface to cut on. It's really, really important. So I cut it all the way down like this, and you could just put it into the Magimix and whiz it up, but I'm going to do a nice little dice. I stack it all the way like this, and then all I need to do is cut it into strips like this, and then cut it across the front of it. And then I've got a lovely little dice. And you can hear that duck sizzling away. It's sounding really good, isn't it? Yes. It's sounding like it's almost ready. It's about to give me a quack to say it's ready, but we'll let it simmer away for just another minute or so. I'll grab this zucchini, pop it in the top. What I want is the zucchini to cook just a little bit in the duck fat with the duck, so it'll get the flavour and soften up, but still retain some of the bite. Now we're going to make the pastry, which is the most important part. And I've got 600 grams of flour in that packet there. So pop that in there, 600 grams. And in front of you there is some yogurt. And you're going to love this pastry because there's yogurt as well in it. What I want you to do, put 500 grams of the yogurt in there. And now the trick is not to use the sweetened yogurt. You don't want strawberry yogurt. You want natural yogurt. And Greek yogurt's probably my favourite. And I'm also going to grab one of these eggs out here, free-range egg, of course, and crack it like that. Make sure there's no shell in there. In it goes. And Rosie, a pinch of salt in there as well.
Oh,
there we go. Reach across the front there, pinch of salt in there. And what I'm going to do is pop the lid on like this. There we go. Squirrel it in. And all I need to do is select pastry up the front here. There we go. All the way through here to bake. And then I'll just press the OK button. And we're going to make a dough, which is OK. Just press the button, press start, and off it goes. OK, Rosie, I've rolled it out beautifully. You can see it's about the right thickness. Now, what I'm going to do is cut it out with my little tin here. The smaller the tin you use, the smaller the empanada dough and the harder it is to work with. So the larger it is, the easier it is to work with. So what I'll do is grab some of this mixture here, and if you can grab some of that egg yolk on the brush there, I'll just put about a tablespoon in here. And one of the most important things is probably a rookie mistake is by loading up too much in there. So rub the brush around the outside there, Rosie. Just there we go.
That's probably what I would have done.
No, you're not a rookie.
A little bit too much, you know, a little bit greedy at times.
You're working with me. You're an expert now. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do, Rosie, is I just pinch it across the top there, and I use the egg yolk to stick it together. It's really important that you stick it together really, really well. Now, once you've pinched it down nicely like that and it's stuck together, you can leave it like that, but you want to give it a bit of character. So what I do is I'll just fold it over a little bit all the way around here like this, and then I just pop it onto my tray ready to bake. So it's got a little bit of a ripple on it, and what I'm going to do is pop it on here. Now we'll continue making the rest of these, then we'll egg wash them so they go nice and shiny. And of course, because yours are different, they don't have any duck in them, we're going to put a bit of black pepper on the top so we'll know the difference. Let's get cutting.
All right.
Now, Rosie, these are going to cook in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. They'll take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook. Into the oven they go, and you can see your one there with the peppercorns on it. You're going to love it. Now, Rosie, I've let them cool down a little bit so they're nice and easy to eat. And you can see they pull apart beautifully. Got the lovely filling on the inside, the duck, the egg, the cheese.
They look and smell delicious, Adrian.
It's all about the pastry. That's what it's all about. And this yogurt pastry is really simple to make and really good. It cooks all the way through. It's really easy to roll out. And it has a crunch to it, which I really, really like. And the duck, I think, is perfect. It goes really well with this empanada. I know your vegetarian one is perfect for you with the egg and the cheese and the herbs in there, but for me, duck is the only way. It's a great empanada.
I like it that you eat them standing up so that you can still have a little bit of a dance.